Thank you very much, and I apologize. I had to step out for a few minutes to take care of another matter, but let me
worries.
associate myself with the remarks of Ms. Eshue earlier in relationship to the active pharmaceutical ingredients. We need to, whether it be human medicines or animal medicines, we need to be producing those more in the United States. And if we cannot produce them more in the United States, we need to make sure that we have FDA inspectors overseas, robust, on the ground, looking at these facilities, because in many cases, the active pharmaceutical ingredient is going to go into sometimes into medicine for humans and sometimes into medicine for animals, and we need to make sure that we're getting the best quality products that we can for our citizens. All right, that being said, let me move on to another one that was raised also by Ms. Eshue, and that was the antibiotic-resistant bacteria and microbes. I'm hopeful that FDA on both sides, but you're here, so I get to bring it up with you, is working on making sure we have the proper and fast way to approve viruses used in phage therapy, which is, outside of antibiotics, is the best known way to deal with bacteria that are causing problems. But you got to find the right mix, and you got to move fast. And so I would hope that you all would have some. Do you have anything on that you'd like to say about how quickly you can move? Because whether it's a herd of cattle or a human being, we want to move quick to knock those things out.
I appreciate that. And one of the things that I have seen in the 6 to 7 weeks that I've been sitting in the director's chair is there are many, many innovative products coming forward. And the future to address many, many of the challenges that we face in, antimicrobial resistance, climate change, all of the things that we're facing. I recognize that we have to be very flexible with the authorities that we have to be able to get these products, to not be the delay that stops these products from coming to market.
All right. Now, let me switch to telemedicine.
Okay.
I have a district that stretches from what is known as Central Virginia, just barely outside of the city of Lynchburg, all the way to Ewing, Virginia, which is west of Detroit, Michigan. It's a huge district. The 800,000, roughly, people that live in the 9th District are in a territory, an area that is larger than the state of New Jersey. And we don't have enough vets. And as a result of that, using telemedicine during COVID was extremely helpful. Most of the time, I would say at least 98% of the time, my farmers know the vet. The problem is the vet might live on the other side of the mountain. They might live, by car an hour, 2 hours away. We don't have enough vets is one problem, but you can't solve that. But FDA changed the rules on my farmers, and the rule went into effect in February, making it much harder for them to use telemedicine. And look, farmers are savvy. They want their animals to be healthy. I mean, I'm not going to say there isn't a rogue person out there somewhere, but if you get a rogue farmer working with a rogue vet, we already have other bigger problems. They can use the telephone, use that camera on the phone they have in their pocket. Now, they might have to go back to the house to get signal or drive down the road to get signal, but they can take a picture of something that's going on one of their animals, send it to their vet. The vet can call the prescription in, and they can go get it. We are making it hard on farmers by not updating telemedicine. We know it works. We know it works for the farmers. We know it helps the large animal vets in particular. And I say that, and we talk about the shortage, but I have the distinction, I think, of being the only congressman in the country who has 2 vet schools physically located in his district. I have the Virginia Tech School, and then I mentioned Ewing earlier, and there's a vet school. It's licensed to Harshbarger's district. I think it might be even further west than Harshbarger. But it's licensed to Harrogate, Tennessee, but it's physically in my district in Ewing, Virginia. And we're putting out some great vets, but a lot of times they're going elsewhere, or they choose, for obvious reasons, to go into small animal veterinary. But my farmers, whether they be sheep or cattle, and mostly cattle in my district, we don't have a lot of chickens outside of Abingdon where we have a big egg facility, but they need the telemedicine rules to be more flexible so that they can provide food for us and livelihoods for their families. What say you? And I'm over my time, but if you give me 30 seconds, Mr. Chairman.
We are working really closely with the AVMA on this. We recognize there's the shortage of veterinarians. I think the key factor for us is the veterinary client-patient relationship. Once the veterinary client-patient relationship is established, I think, we're continuing to work with AVMA on what makes the most sense.
All right, so here's what I want you to do. Work with them, get me language, let's put a bill in. I mean, that makes it easy. I agree, there should be a relationship. But once that relationship is established, let's stop making vets drive 2 hours and farmers have to wait for their animal to be seen, particularly if it's something that could be contagious, could affect the whole herd. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The gentleman yields back. The chair.